XRP first, I want to say that I hope everyone is having a great day no matter where they are in the world. Ripple got the first DFFA license for blockchain payments. Ripple is the first blockchain-based payment company to get a license from China's Financial Services Authority. This is a big win for regulators in the UAE because it means Ripple can now offer more crypto-based payment services in Dubai's financial hub, where they are officially that license is also very sought after. Many other businesses would find it hard to get it. This is just one example of the wave growth we see happening every day around the world as new rails are put in place. Still, some people don't think XRP will be worth much because Tether can't pass the checks it needs to become a stablecoin in the US. Tether's CEO says the company will release a US stablecoin by the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2020. I think Tether should just blow up right now, rip off the bandage and get it over with right away because it's going to happen anyway. In a few months, US coin laws will be stable and Tether won't be able to get around those rules. Now they want to bring out a whole new thing. What are they going to do to support Bitcoin like they already do? Please finish the task at hand as soon as possible. We all know it will happen, and I think it will be a shock when Tether falls along with all the other coins. According to sources close to the SEC, Chris Larsson from Ripple will meet with Paul Atkins, the head of the SEC, today, May 2. It's not clear to me if this is true yet because Eleanor Tourette hasn't said where Chris Larsson and Paul Atkins will meet. I'm sure the meeting has nothing to do with the XRP ETF. If it does happen, it will have more to do with the case between Ripple and the SEC finally ending. Many people are now asking for, XRP to be worth $50.00 or more. I even looked at the XRP chart and it's still around $222.00, which is what usually happens when the mega monthly candle breaks out. When XRP breaks out of its range, everyone thinks the next stop will cost more than $50.00. But this could happen in this run because XRP isn't really being held back by anything. If 2017 was so big, then why can't 2025 be just as big? That's what will happen no matter what. People would say right away that the market cap didn't matter in past cycles if utilities started driving the price of XRP. I'm going to say that again to bring up the offer to Circle. Circle's value dropped from $9 billion, 0 cents to $5 billion, 0 cents before its IPO. This means that Ripple's price was probably very fair because they gave them the full amount that Circle thinks the item is worth. It makes sense for Ripple to buy Circle. Circle's planned IPO filing just revealed a big flaw. Even though they paid $210 million, 0 cents to get Coinbase out of the group, they still take 50% of USDC's income. This is a huge loss of money, and Ripple has the money, organization, and drive to fix it. Ripple doesn't have the same issues as Circle. If they come in, they can take the money that Circle makes, change the rules for using coins, and make more money by adding USDC to RippleNet, and Liquidity Hub stablecoins will be fully integrated into the Ripple community. Think about how XRP moves against the USD. When you combine the speed of XRP with the legal acceptance of USDC, you get a two-headed financial powerhouse. Ripple has been through a lot of trials and is now in a great position to be the leader in digital asset markets that are regulated by Buying Circle. Ripple has direct access to more than $60 billion, 0 cents in USDC that is already in use. As a result, Circle will no longer need to rely on Coinbase, which is good for everyone. That makes sense. So Circle should agree to the buyout by Ripple. Also, think about how USDC could run across the XRP system and move it. I'm interested in what happens here. Since this news came out, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, has raised a price to buy Circle to $20 billion, 0 cents. The deal looks like it's getting closer to going through. Other people said they took the first offer behind closed doors and are now working out the details, but why would Brad go to all the trouble? Ripple could offer as little as $12 billion or $10 billion and Circle would still agree to the deal. At this point, no one knows for sure if this is true, but I hear a lot of people talking about it. I'm really interested in where this goes next, because if Ripple buys Circle, things will get very big in the future. The last fight between XRP and stablecoins. If you say that stablecoins are replacing XRP, that's like saying that Google Maps replaced Wi-Fi. You have the app and the system mixed up. XRP is the bridge currency that makes it easier to send money across borders by connecting different currencies, even fixed coins. Stablecoins are digital versions of fiat currencies that keep their value steady. To put another way, think of it as the web's dollar. Some people are still confused about the fact that RLUSD will only ever be worth $1 or 0 cents if it becomes a digital dollar. When RLUSD first came out, it was bought for a lot more than $1. As I already said, XRP could be the digital euro if RLUSD becomes the EU digital dollar and the US sends money to the EU. Money could go from RLUSD to XRP and back again, which is great about XRP because it can be used for anything. A fund manager in London tells us that the price of XRP isn't going up, even though banks are using it because of the two-legged scheme. He then tells us when the price from the secret ledger will be shown on the public ledger. What I said was that the price of XRP couldn't change. Several times I've said that the prices people are seeing, and even the bugs, could just be the banks testing XRP at different price points on the private ledger. That price might be what we see when the banks come out of the test phase. It could be $1,000, 0 cents. No one knows. But this is where he says we'll finally find out the price, which is why he says the XRP ledgers will join on July 14th. He thinks this could make a big difference in the XRP market. Many people in the community are confused by this big claim, especially since it comes with a set date for implementation. DigitalG didn't give you a good source to back up their claim. I said it would happen when ISO came out and that it would start with Fedwire on July 14th, 2018. I've even said it in other videos. Fedwire will probably show us where ISO compliant coins are going for the first time. This is because these cryptocurrencies will become very famous very quickly if they are used with ISO codes. It could tell us how fast the prices of XRP, XLM, XDC, and other cryptocurrencies will rise.